expect us to believe that Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Obama. Like, how does that work?
Man, it's crazy. It's hilarious.
You know?
Not you too, man.
I mean, if he won, okay, but like, you expect me to believe that he got more votes than Barack Obama? Like, is that what we're doing?
What's Barack got to do with any of this, man? He's sitting at home chilling, dog.
I understand
For a
that.
whole 8 years later, dog.
I understand that, but like, you know what the energy was like whenever Obama was running. Like, you know
Absolutely.
what it was. And was that same energy here?
No, it was against Trump. Yes, absolutely.
I don't think that. I don't think that.
That was the whole reason everybody I knew voted. Nobody likes Biden, bro.
Well, that might be the narrative, but I just don't see how people are willing to show up for Joe Biden.
No, we didn't know. Nobody showed up for Joe Biden, bro. They showed up to get this dude out of office, dog.
Why though?
What?
Yeah, why?
Oh my goodness.
Genuine question. Genuine question. Why?
Right.
Well, why is Trump so bad?
He's an asshole, bro.
Right, but all the rappers that we listen to are assholes. All of our favorites.
Right? If he was sitting there being a rapper, bro, then we'd be talking all good. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the thing is like, if you ask the average black person, right, or not black person, but if you ask the average person who looks up to a lot of these rappers who are saying the same type of stuff in a more vulgar way that Donald Trump is saying, I mean, they would love to see them run for president or to be in some kind of leadership position. It's the very reason why, you know, everybody likes Killer Mike, right? Killer Mike says some real stuff when he talks, does he not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And I'm sure if you were to poll the average hip hop enthusiast, they would love to see Killer Mike run for president.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
And so, if that's the case, then why is it that when Donald Trump gets up there and he says the same things that Killer Mike is saying, he's suddenly an asshole and we don't want to be president?
I mean, hey, he's an asshole to me, bro. You know what I mean? He could be whatever he wants to be to you. But, you know what I mean, if he's not an asshole to you, cool. You know what I mean? But to me, he sounds like a dick. You know what I'm saying? So with my vote, what I'm going to do is vote to get this dude out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With your vote, you can do whatever.
Hey, I'm not trying to like prove a point. I'm just asking you like, what did he do that was so bad that we need to get him out of office?
Like I said, for my vote, he was a dick. You know what I mean? And so the stuff he said to me wasn't very presidential, wasn't very leaderish. You know what I mean? To me.
Yeah.
And so that's how I voted.
But let's look at it this way though. If you had some kind of heart issue, some kind of issue that you needed a surgery to get this situation taken care of, would you want the doctor who has good bedside manners but they're terrible at the surgery they're about to perform on you? Or would you want the doctor that has terrible bedside manners but he's extraordinary at removing this issue that you have?
What are you claiming him being extraordinary at?
I'm just saying, like, because I asked you, and this is all with
I'm
due respect.
I'm just curious.
Because, like, when you look at Trump's presidency, because you mentioned the 4 years, right? So I'm just going off of what you said. You look at black entrepreneurship. You look at all these ways in which the black community either benefited or could have been benefited for with an extra 4 years. And so when you look at 47 years of Biden compared to 4 years of Trump, when it comes to the surgeon who's more able to perform that operation successfully, Donald Trump takes the cake. Now, he might not speak in a polished way, like you say that Joe Biden does, but he gets the job done. Okay.
I wouldn't even say Joe Biden does all that, bro.
Right.
And I don't even think Joe Biden's going to have a long leash, bro. I think if Joe Biden messes this up, the things that how you feel is going to be open up for a wider audience, you know. I think this is a time for the Democratic Party. If they're going to do what they say they're going to do, this is their time. You know what I mean? So this is the last chance for them, you know. And
I hear you.
You know, so it's a little dicey, man. It's a little dicey. I think everywhere.
No, you're good. My only thing is, like, I don't think we are specifically in the black community given Trump a fair chance. I mean, we say, like, oh, he's an asshole or he doesn't say the right things. But we're so used to the Democrats lying to us, trying to win our vote. But if you look at these predominantly black communities, there's nothing changed. There's nothing that has really changed for the better for the communities at large since Democrats have been in power. And so we let them lie to us. We let them massage us and tell us all the things we want to hear. And hey, at the end of the day, they're a polished politician. They say all the right things. And so do we allow ourselves to continue to be manipulated and mistreated in that way? Or do we think about what these policies mean for us as a community economically? It's kind of like the woman who is continually being abused by her boyfriend, but he says the right things to her in the moment. Right. And so even though all of her friends are telling her, hey, you should dump this dude, like she was like, oh, but he says all the right things, but you're being mistreated. Oh, but he says the right things.
And I do not disagree with you. And that's why I say this is going to be like one of those moments for the DNC to really be like, yo, we really talk this, because you're not the only one who feels like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a crazy premise that you're throwing out.
Yeah.
It's just that historically these same people have openly not gone for African American interests.
The same people who
the same people who are, Republicans. They do stuff in order for people not to vote.
Yeah.
Just all different types of little stuff that goes under the radar.
So that's actually a clip from a real discussion that I had around 2.5 years ago with a mobile barber. And what's interesting about this is I'm not even a Trump apologist. I don't go around acting as some kind of activist for Trump. In fact, I don't even know if I'm voting for him in this next primary election. It's looking like, I'll likely vote for Ron DeSantis, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, when it comes to discourse, you have to meet people where they are, and you have to challenge their preconceived notions and expose the contradictions in what it is they're saying. You also have to be sure and confident in what it is you're saying and ready to offer a defense to what it is you're saying. Now, you can see in the clip that I was able to get him to a point where he was unable to defend the legacy and the practices of the Democrat Party. And so what he diverted to instead is to talk about the legacy, as he sees it, of the Republican Party and how Republican candidates have historically stood in the way of progress for blacks. Now, I know a lot of you might be thinking, well, Chad, there was your opportunity to begin defending the legacy of the Republican Party and talk about how Republicans were actually responsible for the passage of the Civil Rights Act, how they ended slavery, this, that, and the third. But I didn't do that because, truth be told, if you look at history objectively, you'll find that both parties were in cahoots with one agenda, and that is to line their own pockets monetarily and to expand their own power at the expense of the American people. Both parties have historically utilized social justice movements in pursuit of a globalist agenda. It's very difficult for me to just settle on and be content with the Republican versus Democrat binary, when it's actually deeper than that. But if you wish to know my responses to his criticisms, I will likely be releasing portions of that video in due time. But in the meantime, the whole of my response can be summed up in the film Uncle Tom 2, which is available on Amazon, UncleTom.com, Vudu, and other streaming platforms.